Okay. Why do I look closer to the camera? Because I guess I am.
You are.
I don't know if I like that or not. Should we switch?
So I don't know.
Okay, there. Yeah, now you're closer. Okay, much better. There. Now, is it balanced?
I think so.
Okay. All right, cool.
Okay, I think I just go over.
Okay.
There's like a big gap between us.
Okay. All right, here we go. All right. Hello.
Oh,
this is where you say hello.
oh okay.
You just say hello.
Oh. Hello.
All right, so welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a video on, as you know, the title says, how to get 50,000 followers in 2 weeks. Yes, that's right. 50,000 followers in 2 weeks. Not me, my daughter.
Thank
and
you.
In, I said you could talk. I'm just kidding. In 24 hours, she got 20,000 followers. 24 hours, 21,000 followers. That's on average 1,000 followers per hour. So I have made notes on how to talk about how to get these followers. And I don't want this video to sound like a infomercial or get rich scam or whatever the case is, because I can't stand ads that talk about how to grow on Instagram and they claim it's organically when we all know that they're just trying to get rich. So I'm not charging for this video. This is a free video to watch. You don't have to pay, of course, and definitely subscribe. This is Madeline from Madimadecrafts.
Hello.
And if you're not already following her on Instagram, her handle is @Madimadecrafts, and she also now has a Patreon. So she will have a Patreon. We'll have all of that down below, all the links. And also I am the founder of Lavender Fiber Co., which is a hand dyeing yarn shop. And again, we'll have all of that listed in the description box below. So let's jump right into it. And I'm going to tell you all the tips and tricks that my daughter has been doing without actually knowing that she was doing it, on how to get a bunch of followers. So let's start back from the very beginning. You opened up your Instagram, when was the first day you opened?
July 16th.
July 16th. Okay, so that was almost a year ago. And then it took you, you said how many months to get to 1,000?
It took me 7 months.
Okay, so it took a total of 7 months to get to her first 1,000 followers.
Wait, no, 10 months.
10 months. I was going to say, I'm like, you told me 10. It took her 10 months to reach 1,000 followers. And now she is averaging anywhere between 1,000 to 5,000 followers per day. It seems to be the average. And just so you guys know, I'm going to show you guys some of her insights and some of her reach numbers that she has been receiving. And real quick, because it was so hard for me to find out what reach and impressions were, I'm going to tell you that right now. Reach is different than impressions. And right now, her numbers are, with impressions, 5.5 million impressions. And what that means is basically, so, okay, let me show you on Instagram. It's so much easier to just kind of show you on Instagram itself. So when you are scrolling through, here we go. When you are scrolling through, is it focused? Okay, I think it's focused. Okay, when you're scrolling through Instagram, this right here is what's called an impression. So basically the easiest way to remember is that all of these things are basically making an impression in your mind. So if Instagram decides to put you on the Explore page, this is visible for someone to make an impression or see your post. Now, if you go on Instagram and you see something you like and you go to reach it, that is called a reach. And so those are the differences between impressions and reach. Let me tell you, it took me 30 minutes of searching on Instagram just to find that. Actually, YouTube, not Instagram. So, my daughter has been getting 5.5 impressions, which means that Instagram has put her on the front page of Explorers, and 5.5 pairs of eyeballs have seen her post. And then out of the 5.5 million, 2.5 million have actually reached to click on her post that takes them to her page. So that is what those numbers mean. And then out of that, 5,000, roughly on average, 2,000 to 5,000 followers will click the follow button to follow her Instagram. So that's basically those numbers and logistics on how she's getting where she has gotten today. Now, we're going to go through the steps on how to achieve that. So, like I said, my daughter was basically doing a lot of these steps on her own and not even realizing that it was helping put her into the Instagram algorithm. So, got my little handy dandy notes so that way I can stay on track. So, we'll start with the basics. The basics would be to make a post and a reel. How often would you say that you post something on Instagram, post a post and put a reel on Instagram?
I would say I post about 3 times a week, but it really depends.
Is that the post or the reels, would you say?
Mostly reels.
Okay. So how often do you think you do a regular post, and how often do you think you post a reel?
I would say I do at least a regular post once a week, and I do reels about twice a week.
Okay. So the whole myth about Instagram having to post more frequently, posting at least once a day or 2 to 3 times a day is not true. I will say that Instagram is more apt to advertise your reels before they advertise your post. And that's because people have short attention spans, and YouTube and TikTok have a big thanks to that because they're called shorts. And basically what's happening, is that your phone?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, I thought that was my phone. That was weird.
No.
So basically what that means is that you're posting, when you post a post, you're less likely to get recommended by Instagram and pushed on the impressions page versus if you were to make a reel. So Instagram is really pushing out the reels, and they are encouraging the creators of Instagram to make more reels and publishing those before they publish their posts. So if you're noticing that your posts aren't getting as much views and exposure, it's because they're trying to advertise the reels. With that said, I learned something new called carousel. Did you know what carousel was on posting on Instagram photos?
No.
Okay, I've heard of it, and I'm like, I know what a carousel ride is at the playground, but I didn't know what that meant. So carousels go round and round and round, as you know, and you'll find them at amusement parks, and it's like the little carousel with the horsies, and you hold the horsey and it goes up and down and round and round. So what that means is when you post a slideshow on Instagram with your photos. So if you post one photo, then that's not considered a carousel. But if you post 2 or more photos and someone has to basically swipe and go through your photo album like a flip book and get to see multiple angles and multiple photos within one post, that's considered a carousel. Now, Instagram actually encourages that because it gives the viewers more to see, and that is more entertainment for them. I don't know about you, but whenever I see somebody's photo, I'm like, I want more. I don't know what it is, but it just, you kind of want to see more of the photo.
Definitely.
And that goes into my next tip, which is to show your personality. Don't be afraid to show your personality, because we've done that more with you now, right? As far as
yes.
the photos, I think you were like scratching your eye, and then your mouth was like halfway open. And then didn't you say that there's like, you didn't know you did it?
No.
And then you also said what? You were like, I don't know if I could ever make that again, like that same face. So yeah, so definitely don't be afraid to show your personality off. It's so hard to show emotions and your feelings on a photo. Videos are a lot more animated, so you can definitely show it more, but when it comes to still photos, it's a lot harder to convey your personality over and persona on just photos. So when you do a carousel, you can definitely almost make it a dramatic flip book and be happy in one photo, goofy in another, sad in another, or whatever the case, and show an array of emotions. So that's kind of a big deal. It also gives you that closeness and build rapport with your followers, and then kind of build that relationship up too, so they can learn more about you. Next would be to share posts of people that you follow. This is something else that my daughter has been doing that she did not realize helped her. You would share posts of people that you were close to on Instagram, right?
Yes.
Tell them about that.
I would share stories of like my friends, like their posts that they would make. So all of my friends, I would always share their posts and reels, and I never realized it would help me like build up. I never thought that it would like help my account grow more when I do share their stories and their posts and their reels.
Right, because what basically she was doing was she built a community. She met a lot of people that has similar interests to her, which automatically, when you do that, you share content that's relatable, and people that follow your friend will end up following you because you guys have the same niche and genre. And just in case you don't know what niche means, because at one point in time I didn't know what niche meant, niche just means what type of expertise category you are in. So basically, when you do that, you are, one, making it shareable, which is a big deal, so that your content will most likely be shared to other followers as well. Two, it makes it relatable because you're sharing the same kind of content that somebody else that likes one person will definitely more likely like yours if the content is very similar. And then three, if you share someone's content, of course, after a while, they'll probably be more apt to and inclined to share yours as well. So it's kind of like the whole, like, you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. I'll share your stuff, you share my stuff. But it wasn't even like a negotiation that my daughter was doing. It was just something that she liked that her friend was showing and posting. And so she wanted to share that with her followers because she thought it was really cool. So that was something that she was doing on her own that she didn't even know was building up followers. Another thing is tags on your photos and hashtags. I feel like this is a little bit overly played and overly saturated. I will say one of the things that I find really interesting is that when I look up certain hashtags, I'm amazed at how many people don't use hashtags, because I'm lazy and I want to find photos on certain things in a certain genre, but a lot of the people that have great content don't use hashtags, and that drives me crazy because it would be so much easier to just find it in one lump category and basically like my own little Google and Instagram, if you will, on images and trying to find the best aesthetics and exactly what I'm looking for. So hashtags are important per se, but they're not the most important thing. Especially trying to grow your channel, because a lot of Instagrammers use the same hashtag, because I know that when it comes to hashtags, you and I will save certain hashtags, because after you have wrote a description, taken the photo, edited the photo, upload the photo, you're like, the last thing you want to do is add like 30 hashtags. So it's just a lot of work. I don't know why. It's kind of like when you knit something and you have to weave in the ends, you just don't feel like weaving in the ends. You've already made an entire sweater, so... Now, on to the secrets of what I found following my daughter's channel grow and following her followers grow and all that stuff. I've noticed that one of the things is that the category and niche that my daughter's in is that it's trending. So right now, amiguramis are huge. Like, they're a big deal. So it's a very good niche market to get into. So kind of talk about what you do.
What I do is I crochet bears. Okay. I crochet.
You're good. I can edit all this part out.
Okay, thank you.
Just take a deep breath.
Okay. After I watch this again and you put this all in.
I know. No.
Okay. So what I do is what I do is I crochet bears and bunnies and things that people may find like cute and aesthetic, or things that I find cute and aesthetic that I know other people will like too.
Yeah. You've made... Oh, why don't you go show them your bears?
Oh, yes. Actually, I just made 3 bears and they're actually...
Oh, no. You have to wait till you get back.
Oh, okay.
Okay, because they can't... They want to see you.
So, I actually finished all 3 bears.
Here, I'll help you.
Thank you. There's a lot of bears. All 3 of these bears. And they're actually almost ready to be shipped out. So...
Yep, we just got some final touches to do.
Yes. So this bear is just a regular brown bear, except it has a blue dress on. And the yarn is actually lavender Fiberco. Mommy. And then we also have this gray bear that is 16 inches. And another bear that actually has a squeaky toy inside. So I sell all of these, and actually it is my most viewed reel. So I posted a reel that showed 2 of my bears, and it actually reached 1.5 million views, which is really crazy. But
in the beginning, how many views did it have when the first week you posted it?
I think it had like 50,000, I think.
50,000.
It had a lot.
Was it your first successful video, or wasn't your there's another video that was super successful?
Ooh, that was my blanket
video.
Yes.
So she wakes up, tell them the story. You wake up like bright and early, 7 o'clock in the morning. Your hair's a mess.
Yep.
You look like a granny.
Yeah, and I look like I literally just woke up, because I did.
Like a little homeless. But it was cute.
What I did was I held all of the yarn I was going to use to make that blanket, and I opened the curtain all the way so that way the light would shine on me. And at the moment it was the golden hour, so I held all my yarn in the bright light and I filmed the reel.
Yeah, and she did so great. She had no idea that it was going to do well. And that's another secret. So here's another secret when it comes to Instagram and also YouTube, but we can talk about that on another day. If you guys are interested in a YouTube secret video, leave a comment below. But to really get big per se on Instagram, and I say this with quotes, is that your goal is to never get big. It's not to start Instagram because you want to be famous or you want to be popular or you want to be this, you want to be that. Instagram is a journey, and social media now is a lot different than when I was growing up. I didn't have social media, but I did become one of the first YouTubers to make Starbucks drinks videos and whatnot. I don't do that anymore. I do more knitting. But when it comes to doing something based on social media, you can't tell yourself, I'm going to do this to make money, to get rich, to get famous. You literally have to do it because it's your passion. And what you're wanting to do is share this passion with the world. And so that's what my daughter did. She wanted to start sewing.
Yes.
And she was so young. And I'm like, there's needles like that might stab you, and she's so ambitious. And I was like, maybe you should just start crocheting. So she's like, all right. So she reluctantly started crocheting, and then she just started knitting and then embroidering and then quilting and sewing more, and she just hasn't stopped, which is great. But this is something that she wanted to do. Nobody forced her to do it, and it came from her heart and her passion. I guess you should talk about your passion. I shouldn't be talking about your passion.
It's like, so, wait, do I talk about like how
you talk whatever you want. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay. So actually, because a lot of people think once you start crocheting, it's super easy because all you're doing is just taking the yarn and pulling it through a loop. I thought it would be much easier, but it's actually a lot harder than it looks. I found it very frustrating when I first started, and so much so I literally wanted to throw my hooks at the wall. Thankfully I didn't, because I probably would have gotten in trouble. But I kept on trying still, and after like a few weeks I finally got the hang of it. I still didn't understand how to do increasing, decreasing, all of that, so I was just really lazy and never did that. And to decrease, I just skipped a bunch of stitches and then that's just how I would do it.
Your hair looks so cute.
Oh, thank you.
It's like growing.
I know.
Yeah, so she's inspired me to go blonde. She's inspired me to start knitting. She inspired me to start crocheting again. She inspired me to do pattern tests. The list just is endless. And she is so young, and I'm so proud of her. And I am just ecstatic to see her grow, and my other children grow too. My oldest, she crochets and she knits, and she is doing a great job. I'll have her information down below too. It's Jazzy Crochets at Instagram. She is doing so well, and so I have very talented children, and I'm feeling so blessed by it, and I'm so happy. But the number one key thing is to know that it's not a get-rich-fast scheme. It's not I want to have all these followers so I can be famous. And, you know, it's about really appreciating the journey, being able to share your interests and passions with other people that have similar interests too. And we didn't realize that how big this knitting crocheting community could possibly be.
I know.
And how many friends we've made through this journey.
Definitely.
And it really is just so great, and they're so welcoming, so kind, and it's a community that I never knew even existed.
I know, me too.
And I'm glad that we found it. So I hope that this video helps somebody, inspires them to just kind of go for it, and don't fixate on the numbers too much. The numbers will come. Just keep following and loving what you do, and then people will love also what you do as well. So if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them down below. Thanks for watching us, and if you guys have any other things that you want to ask, just leave them in the comment section, and we will see you guys next time. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.
All right, good deal.
Yay.